Hi everybody, my name is Jim Harms. I'm a professor of English at WVU and a poet.
Hi, I'm Kirk Hazen. I'm also a professor at WVU and a linguist.
And together we're here to tell you a little bit about limericks, to describe what they are, and to explain why they are the way they are. The first thing I like to say about limericks is that they're designed to be memorable, just like most poetry is designed to be memorable. And that's because for hundreds of years, poetry was the way we remembered important things and told them to other people. That goes back to a time when not as many people knew how to write, so it was important that there were features of language that would make language memorable. And you see that in limericks. So limericks almost always have three things going for them. One, they rhyme. Two, they have a very specific sort of rhythm. And three, they're usually funny, or at least clever.
And all of that structure you might think of as restrictive, but actually it allows you a lot of freedom to create within the structure, and it makes a very small package much more memorable.
So rhyme in some ways is easy. You're used to hearing it all the time in your life. Kirk's going to talk about that in a second. But sometimes people think limericks have to follow certain patterns of syllables. In other words, there need to be a certain number of syllables in each line, and often that's true. But most importantly, they do have the same set of beats that you can hear if you listen carefully. So I'm going to read to you the first line of a limerick, and you listen to the rhythm, where the beats are hard. There once was a man who loved moon pies. So the most obvious thing about that line, if you're looking at it from the perspective of a poet, is it has what we call rising rhythm. It goes da-dum, 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 or it might go da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-dum. Some people think that particular rhythm is particularly memorable because it matches the rhythm of your heart, your heart's beat. Especially if you have a heart murmur, then it would be da-da-dum. But most of the time we just go ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And that's probably the most common rhythm in English language poetry.
So you don't need to worry about it too much because it's something you're going to be able to do easily. Just like rhyming. Everyone knows how to rhyme. With the rhymes in a limerick, they're your chance to put a memorable hook in people's minds and keep them with the sounds. And remember, whatever rhymes in your particular dialect works. You don't worry about the spelling or the particular length, but the rhymes that they actually match up in sound. If they do that for you, you're good to go.
Yes, trust your ear. So limericks have 5 lines, generally speaking, and 2 rhymes. In other words, 3 of the lines rhyme with the same sound, and the 2 lines in the middle rhyme with the same sound. So listen carefully and you'll get the sense of the rhythm and the rhyme of this particular limerick. I'm going to read the whole thing. There once was a man who loved moon pies, who traveled the state as the crow flies. His last name was Gee, and he selfied with glee, 'cause he loved mountaineers more than bow ties. So you can see that that poem is also funny, or at least it's funny to us, and most of you also who might have seen President Gee out there in the state meeting people, taking pictures with his famous bow ties on. So that's pretty much it. You have rhyme, you have rhythm, and you have fun. So it's really important to have fun when you write limericks.
So enjoy and send them in, please.
Thanks.